very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Tracy Shilchi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you the morning's top stories. Let's start with the headlines. Sushma Swaraj meets her Pakistani counterpart at a banquet hosted in Islamabad. Formal meeting with Nawaz Sharif today. Both sides express optimism about improving ties. Congress protests inside and outside Parliament over the National Herald case. Party calls it vindictive politics, but the BJP says it's just a court procedure. Delhi government seeks centre support to implement its odd-even formula for vehicles. Formula to be implemented date-wise from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the first 15 days of January. India and the US discuss progress made at the climate summit in Paris. John Kerry meets Prakash Javadekar. Barack Obama calls up Narendra Modi. And Chennai faces the daunting task of clearing 1 lakh tons of garbage strewn across its roads after floodwaters recede. The Indian Air Force calls off operations as the focus now shifts to relief work. The top story: External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will be holding formal talks with her Pakistani counterpart Sartaj Aziz and will also be meeting Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif today. On Tuesday, Aziz met Swaraj during a dinner hosted for delegates of the Heart of Asia Summit.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj met her Pakistani counterpart Sartaj Aziz during a banquet hosted by him for delegates of the multilateral conference in Islamabad. The two exchanged a warm handshake. Both leaders, who will be meeting again formally on the sidelines of the Heart of Asia meeting on Afghanistan today, engaged in a brief conversation. The two later sat next to each other. Ahead of the formal meeting, the two leaders have expressed optimism over advancing ties.
दोनों से मेरी मुलाकात होगी और दोनों मुल्कों के आपसे रिश्ते और सुधारने और आगे बढ़ने के बारे में बात भी होगी। मैं संदेशा यही लेकर आई हूँ कि रिश्ते और अच्छे हों और आगे बढ़ें, और बात क्या होगी ये जाते वक्त पता चलेगा।
Sartaj Aziz struck a positive note ahead of the meeting. He said, and I quote, "My expectations are good and positive from the talks. My message is also that we should take our engagement forward and improve ties." Unquote. Sushma is the first minister in the Modi government to visit Pakistan. After the Nawaz Modi icebreaker in Paris, the NSA meeting in Bangkok set the stage for Sushma's visit to Pakistan. Her trip comes 3 years after former External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna's visit in 2012, when the two sides inked a visa liberalization pact. Swaraj is accompanied by Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar, who was also present during the 4-hour-long NSA's meeting in Bangkok. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Thank you.
For more on what we can be expecting in Islamabad, of course, as far as those meetings are concerned, we're joined on the phone line by our correspondent Akhilesh Suman to give us an idea of what to expect. Akhilesh, good morning. As far as we can see, at least as far as, what's being projected, after UFA, this is the most positive that we're seeing, leaders of India and Pakistan greet each other. And this is definitely a step forward.
Yeah, naturally, Tracy, after UFA, they also met in Paris. You have seen the videos of Paris meeting between Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And you can see that there is a sort of understanding for engagement between the two countries. And at this moment, when Heart of Asia Summit conference is going on, I think it is very important that India and Pakistan should meet so that the whole plan, international plan about Central Asia to reconnect with the whole world is successful. And India and Pakistan are the crucial not only for each other, but also for peace and security in the whole of this region that is called Central Asia, connecting both India, Russia, China, Iran, and it stretches up to Syria, So I think it is only thing that is hampering the relationship in the whole region is a conflict between India and Pakistan. And if it is balanced, I think that there will be a thaw in the whole region. And today, US have said that Pakistan should not discriminate between the terrorist group. And in this context, I think that Sushma Swaraj has gone with the agenda of engagement. You cannot say that what results will come out, but the whole idea of keeping engaged so that you can express your concerns with each other at right point of time is very important. And I think that Indian diplomacy has been taking forward the steps that yes, there would be red lines. If even Pakistanis are understanding it, there would be red lines, and that is why they met in Bangkok, NSAs of both the countries and foreign secretaries. But beyond those red lines, there should be some understanding that how to create an atmosphere of peace so that development takes place, because people of both the countries are suffering due to this conflict, Tracy.
Absolutely. And you know, while there have been mixed reactions, Akhilesh, about that meeting in Bangkok, at least from the Indian side, from the Pakistani side, there is, an effort that is being seen that the civilian government definitely wants things to normalize with India.
Yeah, actually, both the governments that are civilian governments, and both the governments are trying to normalize the relationship. And as I told earlier, that they are the red lines, that India doesn't want any Pakistani diplomat to meet with the Hurriyat before the talks are on. So there might be some sort of arrangement that if Pakistan is really very keen to meet Hurriyat, they can meet after the meetings. And
Yes.
I think this type of conditions this type of understanding can be laid down for any talks in future. And I think that an understanding has been reached between both India and Pakistan that this type of arrangement can be made when the egos doesn't come between the talks. And I think that Bangkok meeting might be taken in a bad light by some of the politicians in India,
Yes.
but many of the politicians also appreciate that talks should go on. Only thing that we should keep apprised the Indian political class, the parliament, that what is going on. And I
Yes.
think that Sushma Swaraj, especially when she comes back, she will address the parliament, and also she will take questions of how relationship between India and Pakistan are going forward.
That's right. She's expected to do that, of course, in a few days. Thanks so much, of course, for joining us, Akhilesh, on this story. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. Meanwhile, former Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri, has reacted to that renewal of talks between India and Pakistan. Let's listen in.
In the past, we've tried wars, near-war situations. Then there's been, since he came, cross-LOC firing. Is there any other way except going to the talks? Furthermore, Prime Minister Modi's own agenda for development of Vikas, which the promise that he made to the people of India, is only possible if there is peace within the country and peace on the borders.
Now, amid a growing threat posed by the resurgent Taliban insurgency and the intensifying attacks of the Islamic State, a two-day meeting, the Heart of Asia Conference, will get underway today in just about an hour from now. Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj is representing India at the meeting that's expected to focus on energy, infrastructure and investment deals with Afghanistan.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj leaving for the Heart of Asia Conference in Pakistan. The conference will aim at raising support for war-ravaged Afghanistan.
हार्ट ऑफ एशिया कॉन्फ्रेंस हिंदुस्तान के लिए बहुत अहमियत रखती है, क्योंकि ये अफगानिस्तान से वाबस्ता है, और इसीलिए इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में खास तौर पर शिरकत करने के लिए मैं हिंदुस्तान से आई हूँ.
This vision of a peaceful, stable and prosperous Afghanistan, which is in the best interest of the region, is far from becoming reality unless we put an end to financial, logistical and ideological support enjoyed by militants in our region. We believe that our country can act as a catalyst and a land bridge to connect parts of the region to accelerate regional socio-economic cooperation.
The Heart of Asia meeting is an annual gathering of India, Pakistan, China, Russia, Iran, along with 31 other nations and 12 international organizations. Started in 2011, it comes months after the first inconclusive talks between the Afghan government and the Taliban. Besides the chance to associate with the process, India has the opportunity to join an oil pipeline with Turkmenistan.
TAPI, the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India natural gas pipeline, can play some role in it. And recently there have been important moves in this direction. And we have just seen the reports that from December 13, the construction work on TAPI pipeline is going to start.
During her Islamabad visit, Sushma Swaraj will meet Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and hold bilateral talks with her counterpart Sartaj Aziz. Political parties in India have welcomed the visit.
नई बातचीत तो दोनों देश में होना चाहिए. यह हमारा पुराना और बरसों से मत रहा है.
हम वार्ता के पक्षधर हैं, लेकिन वार्ता पूरी तरह से टारगेटेड होना चाहिए और उसका कोई नतीजा निकलना चाहिए.
Ahead of the visit, NSA Ajit Doval met his Pakistani counterpart Nasir Janjua in Bangkok. Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar was also present at the meeting. Sushma's talks are likely to focus on calming down tensions between the two neighbors. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And speaking of another summit, as negotiators from around 200 countries are busy trying to reach a final climate deal in Paris, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar hit out at the developed nations, saying that the support offered by them to developing nations has been low. Meanwhile, US President Barack Obama telephoned Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a Tuesday to discuss the progress made in the climate change negotiations. Here's more.
Flurry of talks on the sidelines of Paris Climate Summit, as representatives from around 200 countries are busy negotiating a deal to limit global warming, due to be presented on Friday. On Tuesday, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar held talks with United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and US Secretary of State John Kerry. Kerry, who had earlier said that India could be a challenge at the climate conference, said that he had very positive discussions with India. Later, Javadekar, speaking at a joint press conference of the basic countries, Brazil, South Africa, India and China, asserted that there was no compromise on common but differentiated responsibilities or CBDR that separates poor and rich countries for fixing responsibilities and distribution of finance. He also said that developed nations need to do more.
Action from developing world depends upon, to a much extent, finance and technology support from developed world. But actually, world was expected to mobilize $100 billion up to 2020, but it has not made much headway.
The talks in Paris have reached a crucial phase in the final week. Developing countries, including India, have been demanding rich countries for early disbursal of funds and clean technology to mitigate the greenhouse gas pollution. Negotiators are confident that some kind of deal will be reached and they will be able to avert a repeat of the 2009 Copenhagen summit that failed.
De manière tout à fait ouverte et transparente, auront lieu entre mercredi après-midi, mercredi dans la nuit et jeudi. Et j'espère qu'à ce moment-là, nous aurons suffisamment avancé pour que, après une série d'itérations,
the multiple lines of evidence suggest that the Earth is warming very clearly. And for instance, the atmospheric concentrations of the CO2 has been rising, and the sea level has been rising, and the temperature of the ocean was also rising, and there is no hiatus.
Negotiators are trying to reach a deal at the climate change conference to curb global warming. A draft deal was reached last week, but key issues still remain, including a long-term goal to reduce emissions from burning coal, oil and gas. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And according to a report released over the weekend by a Chinese research academy, glaciers on Mount Everest, the source of major Asian rivers like Brahmaputra, have shrunk by 28% over the past 40 years due to climate change. The report, compiled by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the Hunan University of Science and Technology and Mount Kumolangma Snow Leopard Conservation Center, says that the shrinking glaciers have resulted in swelling glacial lakes and higher river levels downstream. Natural disasters are on the increase on the Tibetan plateau because of greater human activity and global warming. Disasters including snow disasters, landslides and torrential floods are expected to increase, and fires will be more hard to prevent and extinguish. But on the positive side, the number of area of lakes on the Tibetan plateau increased notably. The quantity of lakes more than 1 square kilometer in size has increased from 1,081 in the 1970s to 1,236 in 2010, and around 80% of existing lakes are getting bigger. Turning our focus to Chennai now, and it is facing the daunting task of clearing its roads of nearly 1 lakh tons of garbage. The dirt and muck have accumulated on the city roads after floodwaters receded, and the dirt has increased the chances of an epidemic outbreak.
1 lakh tons of stinking garbage. That is the mammoth task facing Chennai as floodwaters receded from most areas in the state capital and its suburbs. 30,000 sanitation workers have been pressed into service to quickly clear the rubbish, including polythene bags, mattresses, rotting food grains and other household articles strewn across the city. Despite the sun shining bright, stagnant sewage water due to choked drains in some areas like T Nagar was posing a major health hazard, becoming breeding grounds for mosquitoes and other pests. Chief Minister Jayalalitha has announced the government will distribute 2,000 tons of bleaching powder and 1 crore chlorine tablets to people in rain-hit areas of the state, including Chennai, for disinfecting the affected places and purifying drinking water. Meanwhile, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi toured rain-affected areas on Tuesday and urged the state and central governments to be more responsive to the people's plight.
Doing politics at this time, we try and make sure that the people of the state of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry are given the relief that they need. So I think right now the effort should be in trying to get as many people help as possible.
The Indian Air Force wounded up its rescue operations with water levels receding. The focus has now shifted to relief operations to include distribution of relief material and administration of medical assistance. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take a look at the news and events lined up for the day in the day ahead. President Pranab Mukherjee will present 21 Shilp Guru and 59 national awards to Master Craftsperson for the year 2012, 2013 and 14 at the function to be held at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. The Shilp Guru Awards, National Awards and the National Merit Certificate are awarded to a craftsperson only once in a lifetime to encourage him or her to maintain excellence in craftsmanship and keeping alive the old tradition. U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter will host Defense Minister Manohar Parrikar at the Pentagon in the U.S. today, following which the two leaders will travel to Norfolk in Virginia to visit a ship. Parrikar is on a key visit to the U.S. to take forward the Defense Trade and Technology Initiative as both countries work towards greater collaboration in joint development and manufacture of next-gen military tech. This is Parrikar's first visit to the U.S. as the Indian Defense Minister. Polling for the fourth phase of the UP Gram Panchayat polls begins today. Elections are being held in 4 phases to elect more than 58,000 village heads and 7 lakh Gram Panchayat members. Counting of the votes will take place on the 12th of December. The Bombay High Court will give its ruling on the applicability of culpable homicide charge against Bollywood star Salman Khan in the 2002 hit-and-run case, and also on other key questions like the admissibility of the statement of the actor's former bodyguard as evidence. A sessions court had on the 6th of May convicted Khan on the charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder under IPC and other offences. A local court in Ahmedabad will hear the bail plea of Patel Kota agitation leader Hardik Patel and 2 of his aides in a sedition case. Hardik and his aides Dinesh Bambania and Chirag Patel, who are facing sedition charges and are presently lodged in jail, had filed their bail application last month. They allege that the FIR against them is fabricated and the Kota agitation led by them does not amount to sedition as charged in the FIR against them by the City Crime Branch on the 21st of October. Without a quick break here, we'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Tradition dating back centuries. A cultural heritage that inspires and warms at once. Magic that awes. Rajya Sabha Television brings you events that embrace the wonders of India's classical arts. Conversations with the biggest names in the culture and music. Rajya Sabha Television, Democracy at Work.
Welcome back. Now, in a radical step to curb pollution, the Delhi government announced that the odd, even-numbered private vehicles will be plying on city roads date-wise starting the 1st of January 2016. The AAP government has sought the centre's help to successfully implement the idea. It also said that the viability and results of the system will be reviewed after the initial period of 15 days.
Amid opposition to the Delhi government's odd-even formula in the capital, Delhi Home Minister Satyendra Jain on Tuesday met Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari seeking cooperation on the issue. Jain has asked the centre to help effectively implement the formula. Jain said he had received a positive response from Union Minister Gadkari.
दिल्ली के जो ब्लैक स्पॉट से आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे और मैं दिल्ली सरकार को भी वो स्पॉट दूंगा और दिल्ली सरकार और हम मिलकर ये ट्रैफिक जाम के पूरे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे। मैं आपको विश्वास देना चाहता हूँ कि आज से 1.5 साल के अंदर आज जो दिल्ली में ट्रैफिक जाम है वो 50% कम हो जाएगा और दिल्ली का पोल्यूशन भी निश्चित रूप से कम होगा।
In a high-level meeting chaired by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi government decided to enforce the restrictions date-wise. Under the new formula, even-numbered cars will be allowed to ply on even dates and odd-numbered ones will ply on odd dates. Transport Minister Gopal Rai said the scheme will be enforced for private vehicles from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. from January 1st for an initial period of 15 days. There will be no restrictions on vehicular movement on Sundays. They are yet to take a call on whether the scheme will have the two-wheelers under its ambit.
ट्रैफिक पुलिस उसको लेकर के अपनी तैयारी करेगी और फिर आगामी दिनों में उनको अपनी तैयारी करके रिपोर्ट वो लोग मीटिंग में लाएंगे। दूसरा मेट्रो के साथ डिस्कस हुआ है। मेट्रो जो है अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी को, अपनी कैपेसिटी को वो लोग भी अपना प्लान उसको डिस्कस कर रहे हैं।
Congress says it supports the Delhi government's intent to control pollution, but its proposed odd-even formula has not been well planned out, making it impractical for the common man.
सरकार देर से जागी, लेकिन जो फॉर्मूला इन्होंने निकाला है अच्छा होता, बेहतर कि ये बातचीत करते, डायलॉग खोलना चाहिए था पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों से, जो इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अथॉरिटी है उससे बात करते, एलजी से बात करते, सरकार से बात करते और फिर तय करना चाहिए था कि लोगों के हक में क्या चीज चाहती है। पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट का हाल इन्होंने बहुत खराब कर रखा है इस समय, तो मैं शायद बड़ी दुविधा में पड़ने वाले लोग।
The Delhi High Court will be hearing the petition against the odd-even formula today. The petition says the decision has been taken without proper consideration of all factors that lead to pollution. It also questions why two-wheelers that have been determined to cause the most pollution have been left out of the new system. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has now sought an appointment with Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh to discuss the matter. The AAP government has promised to come out with a detailed blueprint by 25th of December. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now on to the political fallout of the National Herald case. Congress President Sonia Gandhi, her son Rahul Gandhi and 5 other accused in the National Herald case have been directed by the trial court in Delhi to appear in person on the 19th of December. Senior advocates Abhishek Singhvi, Harin Rawal and Ramesh Gupta appeared for the Gandhis and others accused and moved separate pleas seeking exemption from personal appearance. Although the magistrate accepted the plea, it asked the defence counsel to ensure that all accused appear before the court on the next date of hearing.
All the accused, barring one who is in USA, will be certainly present at 3 p.m. on 19th. The US accused will also try his best to be here, but subject to logistics and exigencies. Let me make it clear that each of the persons involved has the highest regard for court. Our contention remains the same. That contention is that this is political vendetta at its worst.
Judge asked me, what do you have to say? I said, give a short date. So he gave the shortest possible date for this court, namely 19th December, 3 o'clock. I'm fully satisfied with today.
And as you can see, while court proceedings went on, the war of words between the Congress and BJP over the case continued. The government rejected all Congress allegations, saying that it has nothing to do with the case filed by BJP leader Subramanian Swamy.
The Raging controversy over the National Herald case involving both Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Vice President Rahul Gandhi, the main opposition party came down heavily on the ruling BJP. Several top leaders of the party, including Rahul himself, accused the BJP of indulging in vendetta politics.
Do this type of vendetta politics and then make me stop asking questions about what I've been asking. I'm going to put pressure on the government and I'm going to continue to do my job.
Who is Subramaniam Swamy? He is the power of attorney holder of the BJP to persecute and prosecute the Congress party. The member of their central committee, and he's been given the specific task of targeting the Congress party. And this is the methodology used by the BJP. So he is his master's voice.
Congress leadership and Congress party has been attacked for its beliefs, for its ideology by political opponents with similar vicious and malicious political propaganda and false cases. Every time, as Sybil Saab has said, truth has prevailed. We believe truth will prevail again.
BJP, however, refuted the allegations, with senior ministers clarifying that the government has nothing to do with the National Herald case filed by its leader Subramaniam Swamy.
The government has no role at all. These cases, to my knowledge, were started before the government came, our government came. So at that time also we have taken initiative or what? Secondly, this is a action followed by a petition filed by a person, and the court has taken cognizance of the same, and then they have issued notice and they should contest it in the court. How can you hold the government responsible?
हमारा राज आने के पहले ही तब से सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी पीआईएल के रूप में इसके केस को लड़ रहे हैं और ये उनका व्यक्तिगत अधिकार है। जब वो बीजेपी में नहीं थे तब उन्होंने तब से ये किया हुआ है और ये पूरा कोर्ट का मामला है। अब मुझे बताइए कि कोर्ट के निर्णय को कोई सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी प्रभावित कर सकती है, ऐसी तो स्थिति नहीं है। जब कोर्ट के निर्णय का बिल हमारे नाम से फाड़ना उचित नहीं होगा। ये कोर्ट का निर्णय है और कोर्ट के निर्णय के लिए मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो कोर्ट में फाइट आउट करे।
Apart from raising slogans against the issue inside both houses, Congress leaders also held protests in the national capital. Vishal Dahiya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the National Herald controversy could likely jeopardize the GST bill. In the beginning of this session, the government and the main opposition Congress had tried their best to sort out differences on the issue. But on Tuesday, things were back to where they were in the last session. Senior BJP leaders feel now that the Prime Minister's efforts to get the bill passed have been derailed by this controversy.
The scene inside Parliament on Tuesday is a great cause of worry for the BJP. The party feels that all its efforts to get the GST bill passed in the winter session are wasted. Till Monday evening, the BJP was unaware of the Congress strategy. It did not expect the party to be aggressive and stall proceedings. The Congress leadership, in fact, was supposed to convey its decision on GST to the government this week. And that's probably why the bill was also listed in this week's business.
देखिए, ये बहुत गैर जिम्मेवारी रवैया होगा किसी का भी जब रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रल रेट 15% तय हो गया, यानी राज्यों के और केंद्र के सारे टैक्सेस मिलाकर औसतन इतने स्तर पे होंगे और जिससे कि व्यवसाय को बहुत लाभ मिलेगा, देश को बहुत लाभ मिलेगा। केवल एक राजनीतिक दल के नेताओं पर कोई मुकदमा चले तो देश को उसका खमियाना भुगतना पड़े। अगर कोई राजनीतिक दल ये रवैया ले जाता है तो ये इस देश का दुर्भाग्य होगा।
Government has tried hard to break the logjam in Parliament, but to no effect. Even as it refuted the vendetta allegations, it soon became clear that the Congress was firm on its stand and the logjam would continue.
The BJP would like to clarify that we are not in the picture at all. It is entirely a court process. Allegations के बारे में ट्रायल होगा। कांग्रेस पार्टी कंप्लेनेंट की बात कर रही है, लेकिन एलिगेशन क्या है इस पर कुछ नहीं बोल रही।
GST is the biggest challenge for the government in the current session, and that is why the Prime Minister met Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh before the start of the winter session. Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's all we have for you on the Breakfast News. Have a good day.